Hello, my crafty people. I had a request on how I make my resin bowls, this ocean one in particular. So I'm going to take a stab at making these tutorial videos. And this is my first one. So if it's total trash, just know that hopefully they'll get better. And in a year from now, we can be like, wow, her videos are so much better now. And also, how did she get so skinny? She looks amazing. So let's see what happens. It's tutorial time. Let's make a bowl. Okay, I got a lot of requests, and by a lot I mean one request, on how to make this bowl. This was like the first one I ever made like this, so I kind of want to do a redo anyways, to see if I can get it to look better. So basically, obviously, it's supposed to look like an ocean. There's some shells here, and this is epoxy resin, so it's super sturdy, like shiny as glass. And if my daughter doesn't stop dancing in the background, I'm gonna kick her right in the booty. Anyways, here we go. So when I made this, I did not have a mold. So one of the ways that you can make it is get yourself one of these bad boys, a caulking gun, and you can lay out some wax paper or parchment paper and do whatever kind of design you want. Let the caulking dry, and you can just work inside of it like it's a mold. I saw the Epoxy Resin store do that, and then I immediately tried it, and that's what this one was made with. I didn't have a mold. So today we're gonna try and do it with the mold, and we're gonna see what happens. I am using the super gloss from the Epoxy Resin store. I'm gonna use these same seashells that I got from Michael's. These are like $4. They're super shiny, and I've used these like a million times, and I'm still not even halfway done with it. And we're gonna be using some May Springs, the Pacific Blue, Tropical Blue, Turquoise Blue, and Black Diamond Pigment Sapphire Ghost Blue. This one is insane, and if you guys know anything about like bioluminescent tides, they work really good with anything that you do ocean related, because like if you can see, it's got like a little glow to it. So those are kind of fun. And then for my white waves, I'm using the Mix-All white. So make sure this is nice and clean. I use cleaning wipes, and then I dry it with a dry wipe just to make sure there's no dust and particles in it. And we're just gonna get messy. We're gonna put shells on the outside, so I'm going to start by just putting some clear on the outside. And this is where my shells are gonna go. And the middle is gonna be blue, but you're gonna end up pushing all this stuff around, so don't worry about it. It's all gonna just end up being a swirly, fun mess. Not a mess, but you know what I'm saying. Okay. So before I do anything, I'm gonna put my dark blue in the middle. And we can keep adding as we go. I have no rhyme or reason. I know some people are very particular about how they do things, but if you ever like spend any time at the ocean, it looks different every time, depending on what angle, what the sky looks like. As long as it's blue and you got some clear water and you have some shells and some white waves, you're gonna get your point across. It's a wave. Some people like to use just the heat gun to like move stuff around. I like to use my fingers and the heat gun. I think it kind of just blends better. You can also use your stir sticks. And when you use your heat gun, you can blow stuff around also. So just whatever you feel like doing. Just a little bit more of this guy. And then I'm gonna use, some of this fun sapphire that I'm like obsessed with, just on the outside. Okay. So I'm going to first hit it with this heat gun. Pop all my bubbles. I'm gonna start moving it around a little bit. Okay, so first I just want to pop some of those bubbles. And I want this color to be mostly in the middle. I'm going to blend it with this one a little bit. Move it around. And before I push out any of that blue anymore, I'm going to go ahead and start putting in some of these shells. So if you see what I did on this one, I literally just lined like the top of them. And I'm just gonna go around, and you'll probably make a mess. But it's supposed to be messy and not uniform. You never really see any like perfect shapes and stuff when you go to the beach. And then make sure you throw a bunch on the floor so your cats have something to play with later. Kidding. You can do a lot, you can do a little. They also have like all those like pretty little rocks that you can get from Michael's. They're all super cheap. I just did one with some like sea glass, and it was like ridiculously pretty. Okay. And I'm gonna pour some like white over this, and maybe even some of that fun sapphire ghost blue stuff. I actually like a lot of shells, and I like it when stuff sticks out of the resin. A lot of people will do like tons of resin coats until it's all smooth, but I kind of like the shells and starfish that I use to like peekaboo through, because I think it looks super like organic and all that business. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to start blowing this out again. You see, it just kind of makes it look a little bit more like waves. Go a little bit into the shells. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It's supposed to look wonky and oblong and all that kind of stuff. Kind of want it to look like the middle is the deepest part. It's shallow. Okay, so we got that for now. And you can fill in, if you have a mold or if you're using the caulking gun method, make it as thick as you want. This one was really thin. It was the first one I ever did, and it kind of spread out a little bit. I love it, but I'm gonna make this one a little bit thicker. Oh, look how embarrassing. Yeah, I have an Apple Watch and it's low on batteries, you know. It's fine. This is fine. I'm gonna add some more on top of my shells. I just want this one a little bit thicker so I knock everything over. And it kind of dilutes this a little bit, which is nice. It makes it look a little bit more natural. And then I am gonna add just a little bit more shells because I want you to be able to see when you kind of blow out the white waves, it'll make it look really fun and pretty. And also if you add these shells at different levels, it kind of makes it look like way more 3D and magnifying, because you have some that sink to the bottom, you have some in the middle, and then you have some floating on the top. So that's fun for me. And then like right here, I have one that's like a little far. I usually don't mind if they're a little bit far, but this one's kind of like way far. Like we have a runaway. You can just move it or you can leave it. I'm gonna move this around again. And kind of bring some of the darker blue up to the front. Ooh, that's pretty. And then I'm gonna take some of this white that we did with the mix-all, and I'm just gonna put it all along what would be like the rocks and the shoreline. This is like the most fun part. Anybody who does like resin waves, this is the business. And then we're just gonna throw it out whichever direction you want. Maybe you want more out into the ocean, maybe you want some more out into the rocks. I like it more into the rocks. And depending how much white you want, you can leave it there, or you can add more, and I'm definitely gonna add some more because I like the way that that stuff looks. So if you look like on this, and this is what you're gonna end up with. It looks super natural, super organic, just some frothy little waves. So I'm gonna add some more. And you can do it in the same spot, you can do it in different spot. I'm probably gonna add some in the back also. And remember, the top of this is gonna look different than the back of it. So you can like look at it when before you're getting ready to form it and decide which side you wanna be the inside of the bowl and which side you wanna be the outside of the bowl. Do this one more time. And once it starts to firm up, if you want to put the stick in and do like this number, you know, this is like super popular to do like these waves. Once it starts to thicken a little bit, you'll be able to do that and it'll stay a little bit more. Oh, it looks like the SpongeBob flower. Very cute. It's up to you. We're gonna let it sit because obviously we're gonna have to let it sit for, I don't know, like 4 hours or so. And then we will be able to form it, and I'll come back and show you how we form it. KK. Sorry, I forgot to mention blowtorch once you get everything done to get rid of your bubbles. Now both of my kids are doing crotch thrusts in the background and they think I won't call them out. I don't suggest working from home.
You have to edit that out.
You guys are a bunch of jerks. So this is what we are working with right now. We're just waiting for it to stiffen up a little bit, and then we can start forming our bowl. But it kind of looks pretty rad. Okay, it's been about 4 hours and we are back. So it's at the point where it's not going to run everywhere, but it's just like, if you can see it, just like a little bit like this. So 2 things to consider when you are going to like mold your little bowl. There's a top and a bottom. This top part that you see is what you see here. So when I made this one, I basically just draped it this way, but this time I think I actually want to see this part on the inside of the bowl. So I'm gonna take this out and I'm gonna drape it over. I have a bowl this time. It's a really big bowl because I kind of, rather than doing this little style where you pinch it, I think this one was honestly done with a 7-Eleven cup. I just draped it over the top of it and I kind of pinched it into the shape of a starfish. But this one, I don't want like the ruffles so much. I feel like I just kind of want it to be like an open, one of those really like wide-mouthed bowls. So what I'm gonna do, since I want this to be the inside of my bowl, I'm gonna have to flip it all the way over on top of our little bowl here. So I'm just gonna loosen this, and if you look, this looks like ridiculous. I think it looks ridiculous in a good way. Not like, that looks ridiculous, but like ridiculous. Look at that. So I'm just popping it out like that. And I think this thickness is kind of amazing. It kind of looks like glass. And what I'm gonna do, so you can kind of see it, so put this here, and then we're gonna get to see the underside, because I don't even know or have a clue what the underside looks like. But we're about to find out. Whoa. Okay, so I'm gonna try and find the middle of the bowl. Whoa. Sorry for the bad lighting. I'm not a professional. So you can kind of do this and form it however you want. I actually this time would like to form it like an actual bowl. I don't want any type of like the little wrinkles or the ruffles, whatever have you. I'm just trying to check to make sure that it's actually even. And you can kind of press it down here too, so you'll have like a flat bottom. You can even, if you want to do one good, like push it down. And remember, this looks like pretty neat and all, but it's the inside of the bowl that I think is gonna look super amazing. And I'm just going around to make sure that it's pretty even. Because remember, even though this is the center, the blue kind of like moved around. You can kind of do however you want. And I'll just show you one more time. Sorry, this lighting's really bad. What we got going on here. It's the outside. And then we will come back in a little bit when it's totally cured and see what the inside looks like. Okay. And I'm kind of screaming because this bowl came out fabulous. It's really hard to capture like how shiny and glass-like these bowls really are. Despite the fact that I'm a photographer, I have not yet perfected the art of taking pictures of these resin pieces. They're just so shiny. It looks just like when people do like the glass blowing. They're so sturdy. They don't shatter like glass. If I ever had smart dinner parties, I would bring this bad boy out every time. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. This bowl's amazing. I love, love, love it. And I hope that you love it too. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching. And if you made it all the way to the end, then you're probably my mom. So call me when you see this.